Here we are with the Kodi box, the T95Z Plus. Um, all we have to do is plug it in there. Okay, you have this. You have an HDMI, which I've already got hooked up. You can see this little receiver here, and the USB goes to this optional remote that we also got. And then you have this remote that is the basic remote that comes with it that you probably use most of the time. So we're going to plug this in. Okay, so you can see that's turning on. That's the screen. Okay, this is going to boot up. One thing to note is as it boots up, it's going to come with like a default time at like 7 p.m. or something, and it's like in 2014. Once you have it hooked up to your internet, it should be able to fix that time within like a minute or so. And that's an important thing, because like the Play Store won't work unless everything is the correct time and date. So what I'm going to show you is after we have this hooked up, you're going to use this remote here, and you're going to use the D-pad and the OK, and we're going to go into settings. Okay, hit enter. Okay, so your network, hit OK, go in there. You can see mine's connected already, but if yours wasn't connected, you would see like one here. So you pick out what it is, and then you put in your password, and that should connect you. Okay, and once you get connected up, give it about a few minutes to fix the time. So you can see mine just switched to 9:37. Okay, so mine connected up. If you have a problem and it doesn't seem like after you've been on your Wi-Fi connected and it doesn't change within the next 4 or 5 minutes, then just to unplug the box and replug it in, and it should work. Okay, give it a few minutes after that. The other thing to check is display right there. Okay, just use this, go over there. Okay, screen resolution is the only thing we want to check. We want to make sure that chances are you're in a 1080p TV, that it's displaying as 1080p-60 hertz. And if it's not for some reason, just switch the auto to off and then just manually pick that one, because I assume that you're using a 1080p TV. Then go back. Okay, so this is our basic home screen right here. You can see Google Play's there. This is an Android device. It works just like any Android system. If you want to add an app, you can go ahead and add it. I've added Netflix right there. I think you can add a Hulu app if you want to, if you have Hulu. But really, that's the one you're going to probably be using most. Although Netflix works really well on it also. But that's the one you're going to be using. So we're going to go over to that one. And I'm not going to tell you too much about Kodi. Kodi's something you just kind of learn on your own. But I'll navigate you to the quick parts. Mostly what you're going to use is the videos, okay? So you're going to go over to the video section. Okay, oops, I'm out of the range of my... Go over to the video section. There we go, okay. So, and these are the different add-ons, okay, that are your channels. I actually put a Greek TV on there too. So it's just playing around with them. Mostly what you're going to use is Exodus, okay? Now, what I did, and you can see how this is broken down, movies, TV shows. Don't use the My Movies and My TV shows, because that needs what's called a tracked account. So you'd have to set that up. That's like your favorites thing, and so what you're going to use are just use the movies and TV shows, because these ones won't really work without a tracked account. And then you just pick it, and it breaks down into other categories: people watching, most popular, or you can go all the way down here to search, and you can search for a particular movie. Okay, And if you hit enter, that's where this one comes in better. Like if you want to search for, let's say, Matrix, okay? So we'd use the keyboard. I mean, you can do the on-screen keyboard, but this is definitely quicker. Okay, and you can see Matrix. Then we hit done, and you'll see it working. So it's searching for it. Okay. Then we hit that. We hit OK. And right now it's looking for the providers of the streams. Okay. So it's parsing through a bunch of different providers and stuff like that. Okay. And then you'll see it up here. Generally, these are usually labeled right, but you know, you try one at a time. Sometimes the streams get stuck. Sometimes they don't work very well. Sometimes you got to back out and try a different stream. You know, in this case, it looks like it picked up pretty quickly. You can see it's loading right now. You have to be patient with Kodi. Realize that this is free, and a lot of the times these servers get quite busy depending on what you're trying to get. So if it seems like it's stuttering and you've tried, you know, sometimes it's just takes trying a few different streams. So you can see how this looks like it's working pretty well. You can see it is broadcasting in 1080p. Okay. Some of these other things, I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time, but like this control here, the volume control, okay? You can see I have it boosted. Sometimes when they make the streams, okay, here, I'm gonna lower this. Okay, when they make the streams, sometimes they're kind of quiet, so I boost them overall. The other thing you'll use is the audio offset sometimes, okay? And that's when if the words and the mouthing doesn't kind of match up very well, then that, if you hit OK, that will help you, you know, and then you use this, that'll help you adjust the delay so that everything matches up. I don't use it all the time, but every once in a while if something's annoying, I mean, it'll definitely fix it, and it's not hard to do. So you can see everything looks fairly good. I can use this, and let's jump to a part in the middle of the movie. I'm just using the touchpad on this to move the cursor, and yeah, you can see that stream's coming in pretty good. So okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stop it. Okay, hit OK, navigate down to the square box, stop. Okay, and then we're back to the main screen, and I can search again or whatever. So I'm going to go back to the home screen. You know, that'll get you home. That's back. This is a back button here. That's a home button. You know, either way you want to do it is, you know. And what I've done is, here's your shortcuts. So I made some things really quick. So instead of, you could go the way I showed you, or you could go down to that little star and hit OK. And over here, I have some of the more, you know, incredible TV movies. These are different. Some of these are Phoenix. Some of these are different add-ons that have movies and TV shows. So these are just quick shortcuts where, let's say I want to go to Phoenix movies instead. Okay, it's the same idea. It just gets you there faster. Okay, let's say I want to go under most popular. And they're just different ways to find movies. They usually get you to your let's see. Try to see which one of these. Phoenix isn't giving me. Might have to update the Phoenix add-on. Hold on. Okay, all fixed. Those shortcuts were being a little squirrely now. So, like I said, go to the star. That's your shortcuts, and I organized them. The top three, this is Incredible TV. Okay, these are all alphabetical, and there's like 526 items. So it's, you know, can't search, just, but it goes pretty fast. But let's say you like Doctor Who, just go there, hit OK, and you can see it's working on that, and then boom, you got all your episodes there. Okay, so the reason you'll see on my shortcuts, you'll see Incredible TV, that's Phoenix add-on. Then one of these is that's Exodus, and I think that's Salt's add-on. Let me check. Okay, yeah, that's Salt's add-on. So there are 3 different add-ons, okay, to finding streams. So we've got 3 different add-ons for finding streams for TV shows, and 3 different add-ons. Only the Phoenix one is actually, you can tell right away. The reason I do that is because sometimes a show might play better in one than another one, or you might be able to find like HD ones or full high definition ones in one and not the other. But these are the top 3 add-ons as far as I'm concerned for TV shows and movies. So you can kind of like figure out which you like on your own. Okay, I'm back. Now I did it right. If you go back into the favorites here, okay, now I have them all labeled, okay? TV shows Phoenix, TV shows Exodus, Salt, and then movies, okay? So those are the top ones that you're going to want to search, okay? Because they're the 3 best add-ons for movies and TV shows. And that gets you right, that's why it's a shortcut. That gets you right to where you need to be. So that's pretty much all you need to know. Of course, the Greek TV is right there if you ever want to play with that. Sometimes the add-ons, especially things like Greek TV, sometimes they're a little squirrely, and what I mean is sometimes they work. Sometimes there's feeds that depend on YouTube, and YouTube has certain access through certain nations and stuff like that. So don't be surprised if not all the feeds work, but just kind of try. Like for instance, if we go to Greece, let me show you what I mean. We'll bring it up and I'll check this like ERT worldwide. Okay, so this is trying to open it through YouTube. Oh, okay, so this one is actually working.
πόλη η οποία ξεκινά τη ζωή της πραγματικά το 19ο αιώνα. Γεννιέται αυτό το κράτος μέσα από μια λαγνία των ερειπίων. Πέτρες πάνω στις πέτρες.
Let's see what other let's see if this mega works. Oh, today they're working, it looks like. Some days you'll get errors and stuff like that. And like I said, it's just there's certain add-ons that don't quite work right. Sometimes when you're starting up Kodi, you'll see down here in that box where it says working, you'll see updating Phoenix or updating Salts. Just let those updates go through, before you start searching around, and whoa. And that'll update. That automatically updates those add-ons and things like that, so that they're working the best, so that they have the channels all sorted out right and everything like that. So this looks like it's working pretty good on the Greek channel. I was having some issues on some of those channels the other day, but so far it looks pretty good. So here you go, back. Now the only thing when it comes to the remotes, this remote's really cool because, well, most of what you're going to do is going to be with this remote. Now, this remote comes in really great if you need to search and you have a keyboard, and it's even backlit, okay, which is nice for if it's dark. And it has a lot of the functions too, the navigation D-pad right there, right click and left click are right here, and then of course you have a the mouse cursor like that. Okay, so it allows you to skip, like in a movie, to a certain point using that mouse cursor. So that's where that one comes in. This one's nice because, well, here you have like an on and off button. This one doesn't really have an on and off button to control that. So one thing is, when you turn it off, you know, if I click it once real quick, it goes into like it goes into a hibernate mode, and that's fine. That's fine. I mean, even if you forget to turn it off, it's okay. But, for the most part, just hibernate it like that. And then when you hit on again, I mean, it should wake it up right away. Okay, and then you'll see it just wakes up right away. Now, if I hold this, okay, if I hold it, it will give me the option to you'll see the option that comes up that says power off. Now, if I do that, that completely turns the box all the way off, okay? And it goes through the whole reboot session when you go to turn it on again. And so, normally you don't have to power it off. I mean, if you do and you don't want to power it off that way, you can just basically pull out the plug and plug it back in. So I use this to turn it back on, and you can see it's going through the whole boot thing again. So if it ever gets unplugged or someone powers it off completely, you'll see it defaulted back to 7 a.m. Okay, or 7 p.m. in like 2014. So the only thing is, just keep in mind, you want it to the clock to make sure that it automatically sets. Normally, it's pretty good about finding its settings and stuff like that. Especially, boom, you saw how fast that turned. So that's what you want. If it doesn't seem like it's finding the time and date right, then just unplug it physically and plug it back in, and hopefully that'll fix it. This little app here is one that I put in there. I mean, normally it will go on to the internet and adjust the time on its own, but that one kind of makes sure it does it better. So that one defaults. Pretty much none of these, I mean, I haven't had to use that clean memory. That's kind of a neat thing. If you're running a bunch of apps, or if you notice this number gets really high, that's how much memory is being used. You can just take this and you go through here and you go like this, and what that'll do is that'll free up some memory if you have a bunch of background apps going. But really, this is it's got 2 gigabytes of memory, which for a streaming box is pretty good. Everything else, I mean, you've got a browser here, you've got one down here and one there. I believe they go, yeah. So you got your web page. I've created an account, and I'll put your Google email. So I created its own account and stuff like that. I'll put the Google email and the password that goes with this. Of course, there's no credit card associated with it, but at least it allows you to go into the Google Store and download, free apps if you need free apps, or get them updated or whatever. So let's see. Oh, sometimes you'll get this. So we just need to accept that. So there you go. And you can pick apps or whatever, just like any other Play Store. So that's about it. This is probably the best box that I've worked with so far. Of course, it's one of the newer ones. It says that it can do 4K streams too, and I believe it. I mean, the processor is the S912M Logic, so it's a good processor in it. The thing is don't be upset if you try 4K streams and it doesn't work real well, because, like I said, 4K streams are going to be a lot more bandwidth, and some of their servers, these are free it's not like Netflix where you're paying, and they're providing you a service, you're basically, getting something streamed off of a free server. So if it can't keep up with that bandwidth, that could be part of it. The other thing is you need a decent connection and decent bandwidth for everything to work. And a way to check that, there's actually an app right here. Okay, if you go into your apps, right there. If you hit OK, do the speed test. Okay, and what this will do is it'll test your internet connection. If you're finding that if it's crapping out on you a lot, looks like I got to use this one here. Begin test. If it seems like it's buffering and it's stuttering a lot, then this is something to go to. And you can see I got good bandwidth right here, so that's why I don't have any problem stuttering or anything like that. But if you find that you're like, if you're below like 20 megabits, you might have some issues. I mean, definitely with 4K streams you can have issues, but you could have some issues. Normally 20 megabits and above, you should be able to stream pretty well. And in theory, if it's 20 megabits of clean, it would be no problem. But a lot of times when people's bandwidth kind of peaks and valleys a little bit, and so 20 might be 10 sometimes, and so that's where you might get crapped out. But here's a place to test your bandwidth, if you want to make sure that that's not one of your problems. So, and here you can see the app stuff, the apps that are already included, and that's about it. And what's cool about this, again, is you do have a browser here. So now you have a keyboard, so now you can actually really browse the internet with that little keyboard, and that's why I wanted to include that's for the little extra they charged for it. That's really a nice thing together with this one. So good luck. I hope it works well for you, and we'll see you.